Hi, and welcome to episode 11 of Red True Diaries. This is a spin classroom, and no, I don't do spin classes, so I do want to check them out. I am advocating for them because I have heard a lot of great things about them. It's even better than running. However, my original plan was to be in a jacuzzi to do tonight's show. However, it's one of the few nights that a bunch of people, 4 people, which is a bunch of people at my small gym, are in the pool area, and someone came right into the jacuzzi when I was going to film while some people were in the pool. 2 girls came in, so that idea is scratched. This was the closest room. It's empty, so I'm using it to go over a few things, because I'm not going to make this a long episode by any means. Just saying, it's a cool environment, but not my ideal. And I really want to spend some time in the jacuzzi with the little bit of time I have. So that's one of the things that I feel that I'm doing with this project. So to me, this is a whole project. These are one-take shots. Each day I have an idea of the things I want to talk about, but I don't always have, obviously I don't have a script that I'm reading from. I don't do any editing. And it's a wrap, so it is very much like a personal diary in that regard, and I think it's cool to do this every day for a year and see how it evolves and develops, and you get, real time, especially if you're watching along the way, information pertaining to life and my life and the life of the world, such as the full moon today, which is something I care to highlight because I love the moon and it being in tune with a female cycle and what that means when it's a full moon. So, for those who follow, say, more alternative practices, such as full moon rituals and things like that, this, might be redundant, where you probably know about a lot of these things. I've done some full moon rituals, new moon rituals, and stuff. Pardon. Ooh, I do have water. Ooh, the air is dry in here. That's the vents you hear going. I can't turn anything to turn on. In any case. So, the full moon is the equivalent to, say, the summer, the height of the summer. Whereas when it's waxing, when it's the light, when we're losing light, it's going to a new moon, which is when it's completely dark, and that'd be the equivalent of winter. And then spring, it'd be waxing. It's waning when it's going. So it starts with new in the winter, just like the new year, the summer solstice, the winter solstice starts in the darkness. Things are birthed in the darkness, which is why it is important to take time to get quiet, to meditate, to surrender, to all sorts of things, and let these things come to you, let them grow. And then we also, so start in the darkness, and then things stir, the quickening begins, life starts, say, such as when an egg is fertilized. It's quickened, life has begun, and then it starts to wax, moon, and us, and life builds, say, into spring, that would be a quarter moon, and then to summer, the height of the summer solstice, that would be tonight, a full moon, and then once the moon starts to wane and diminish and die, that would be the equivalent of autumn, and then the winter. And so hormonally speaking, and in terms of our energy, our hormone starts to build. And say with the woman, our life force is tied to our eggs, such as chi or ki energy, we want to talk about, even like the Force in Star Wars. So we're at our peak when we're ovulating in terms of our menstrual cycle being linked toward the moon cycle. But whereas say on a whole collective, because there's one moon that influences the earth, and we're all affected, say, in comparison to the ovulation state where we have more energy during this time. So that's why some people feel that people go crazy during a full moon, because it is more of a heightened state. It's, pulls on our bodies, the water in our bodies, and which are around 70% water. So that is important to know so that you can plan your life accordingly. And some people, such as myself, I do think about the things that I want to do during a full moon or when I'm ovulating, because I know I'm going to be more exuberant, I'm going to have that much more energy to get a whole lot done. And so I just tend to take it easier easier on myself and others when a new moon is coming, because the energy is lower. Like even, I didn't get certified as a yoga teacher, but when I took a yoga teacher training class, or started to and did their workshops, they even said to be careful about pushing people too much, or watching the tendency for people to push themselves during a full moon, because they're so exuberant and they're so full of energy that they're more likely to hurt themselves during that time. Whereas with the new moon, people might feel less motivated and more lethargic. So knowing these kinds of things really do help you, as well as other people you know that oftentimes aren't even conscious of these things. And so that's going to be a little blurb in terms of my personal story and things I want to share. And now on to the poem that I want to share in honor of today, and in honor of one of my favorite poets, and sexuality and erotica. I heard this poem in a movie. I don't even remember the name, but it was a teacher reciting it for his students to expand their horizons. And it's one of my favorites. After hearing it in this movie, I decided to go ahead and find it and write it down. And I found it the other night when going through things from high school. So this is the poem called She Being Brand New by E.E. Cummings. She being brand new, and you know, consequently a little stiff, I was careful of her, and having thoroughly oiled the universal joint, tested my gas, felt of her radiator, made sure her springs were okay. I went right to it, flooded the carburetor, cranked her up, slipped the clutch, and then somehow got into reverse. She kicked. What the hell? Next minute, I was back in neutral. Tried and again. Slowly, barely, nudging my lever right. Oh, and her gears being in A1 shape, passed from low through second into high like greased lightning. Just as we turned the corner of Divinity Ave, I touched the accelerator and give her the juice good. It was the first ride, and believe we was happy to see how nice she acted. Right up to the last minute, coming back down by the public gardens. I slammed on the internal expanding and external contracting brakes both at once, and brought all of her trembling to a dead stand still. Almost want to read that last part again, but I won't. I'll do it in private. So wrap this up. Thank you for watching and listening. I love you.